Yeah, okay, Sword. Let's look here. Six red monthly candles in a row. Can June be green? Yeah, very good question. And the right question to be asking. When things get extended, of course, there can be some sort of spring back. But yeah, you can see the downside there. Let's check that out. Yeah, automatically, the way I like to be looking at this, I mean, the ideal situation, I don't know if we'll get that, would be some sort of stop hunt of that low. I don't know if we can get that. These double dojis can sometimes be too strong. And too strong by I mean that the dip can be small before moving up. So definitely I like this double doji setup. Uh, Sometimes it's just not easy to, how to play them. Sometimes they can actually, if the market was very bearish, sometimes this can be a very bearish setup that we would then, open up and drop, pretend that's a red candle. Okay. So the market doesn't seem overly bearish. If I just remove that out of the way, like something like that. If the market was bearish, that is a possibility. But the market doesn't seem very bearish. The stock market could change that, but possibly. But so far things seem okay. So, at the moment we have to lean with a bullish momentum and the bullish move up. I think coins are, so, some coins are moving. They've already had the move for the month or for the 3 month or whatever it is. It's like what I was saying. So far, it's playing out pretty well. There was mostly large red 6 month candles, and we have already got the bounces from way down here, and now we're having red 6 month candles kind of sitting here like this or something like that. So we've now bounced up. Uh, that is important, but it's also important to understand that, I was saying that this market is not going to go parabolic or anything now, because it's unlikely to flip green on a 6 month. We need a new candle, most likely. So the dips back down on a new candle into here, for example, on most coins. Now I'm generalizing, of course, but dips down into here on a new 6 month can be great buys if we're going to then have a green 6 month candle. Okay, so the new 6 months is going to be extremely important. This hopefully is just a setup for potentially higher prices if all goes well. I'm not saying that alt is all the be all and end all coin. I mean the market in general, and the market caps, total market caps. So, yep, that is definitely worth noting. Let's look through. So nice quarterly. It's trying to flip bullish on the quarter, right? I know it moved up and all, but it still is time. It's still another month, as you talked about. If it can have a bit of a green month, it can have that green quarter, because it's already had four, one, two, three, yeah, four. Yeah, that was a bad candle to start with right down, but it's already had four red quarters in a row, 1 year to the downside, and we can see that 6 month candle. So alt has not had that bounce like most of the market has had. So it may still be happening. It may still be a possibility. There is one thing I will say, the caveat. Sometimes the laggers, the weaker coins, sometimes that is a sign of weakness because most of the market has already moved and had created wicks in this candle, and this has not created a wick. So I say that, so it is good to manage your risk effectively by understanding that it is a potential laggard. Okay, but there is well, you need to watch this very, very carefully. I'm going to just put the line there. I mean, right at the open, probably I'm trying to do this pretty quick, but right at the open here, um, that is the major line in the sand. And I may not have drew it perfectly, but it's in here on this one. But obviously, price needs to break above that, and then it's green on the quarter. If it's green on the quarter, things can start to be a bit more bullish, and it would be good to use time frame status on that. So basically, time frame status, but your quarterly settings would be that. So if you turn off these two and turn off the 2 month and yeah, turn off these four. Sorry, I was getting some alerts and beeps through there. But so obviously that's for that. But what I'm talking about on the lower time frames, if you're looking at the lower time frames, you can find out when it starts to turn bullish. You can see your line in the sand there. So the price is trying to um, I don't want to call it an Adam and Eve bottom. An Adam and Eve bottom is a V shape with a rounded pattern like this. There is a V shape, and Yeah, sorry, I was sneezing there. Yeah, a V shape and a potentially rounded bottom, right? You can sort of see some sort of pattern there. It's not ideal, it's not perfect, but there may be something here if this starts to move up and starts to get some gain some traction, gain some strength. I am looking forward to getting the other tool finished for you guys. I do think it'll be a big game changer. The time frame status is extremely powerful, but the upgraded version is hopefully a lot better. But what I'm saying is, you can see that this is on the quarterly settings here, as I showed you a minute ago. But you can see, this is not on the quarter. This is not working on the quarter. It did fake out. There's little fake outs here, but it starts to capture a bit of a trend. But the fact that it's starting to flip golden is a good sign, at least potentially a good sign. So if you start to see that get above the line that we just drew there for the quarterly open, that can then gain traction and start to move up on a new month. So it is good to keep an eye on that. At the moment, the weekly is not great in the fact that it's not doing too much, but there is this move up that is floating lower. Can this just kind of round back up again is the big question. But so far, it's still red on the week. It may need. There's 11 days left. See this here. Stop hunt here. When I see a stop hunt on top, now this doesn't always play out, but I like to buy or like to look for buys on stop hunts below the lows. Because if you stop hunt on the top, sometimes then it hunts the low on the bottom. So if we do get that coming into a new month, or if there's any bit of a flush or whatever, watch for the stop hunt there. Set an alarm here. I can set an alarm on this. Also, I'll do it right now. I tried to set an alarm. It wouldn't set. Maybe I need to refresh this page, but I'm not going to do it right now for this video. So you can see it's just flipping green here, which is interesting. So an ideal situation might be if it's stop hunts down here, because then you have stop hunts on the top, stop on the lows. So it's just something to keep an eye on, keep a watch for. Um, yeah, it's starting to flip green here. I'm just wondering, like, can we get some sort of strength? This is a nice three day candle. There's a few days left in the month, a couple of days left, 2 days left in the month. When it does get so close to the end of the month, I do prefer to trade a new month. But there is something interesting there that maybe this could move up a bit before the end of the month. It's already filled that wick a little bit. See here, it's filled the wick a little bit. That's interesting. The safe, like you see here, you get this candle and it kind of grinds higher. It's hard to get on board. You just have to get on board on the new candles or wick fills. But yeah, I prefer to trade on a new month, even though there's potentially something happening here. Ideally, it should stay above that line there. It is still red on the 3 month. This is not ideal because it's a large red candle on 3 month, but or sorry, the three week. I'm not sure if I said 3 month or not. Uh, there's 4 days left in that. So in 4 days time, that all the time frames might start aligning better for a move higher, which is into a start of a new month. Again, see, you can see this here. You don't always get it, but that's a bearish stop hunt on a 3 week. Makes me think, well, that would be the better buy somewhere down there. But that is something to just keep in mind now that I see that. So there's a conflicting signals here. Like this looks good as well because this could start moving up here into there. So yeah, it's a tricky one. What is that? That's a nine. The 9 week is still red. So obviously it's not ideal when the 9 week is red because you're fighting that red candle. You ideally want this to be aligning and the 9 week to be green, just like you want that to be green. Well, see, the quarter can be green and the month can be green. That's pretty good. I know the 6 month is red. All your time frames are not aligning uh, perfectly at all. So when all the time frames are not aligning perfectly, it is time for caution. It's not like a load the boat situation or anything, but there may be a trade. This may still bounce up a bit, but you are fighting some bearish tendencies in the market. So I think the things to watch for is a new month, which is in a 2 or 3 days time, and a new 3 week candle, which is also in 4 days time. And when there's a new month and a new 3 week candle, that can be more aligned to potentially push this higher and have a green candle coming up here. So yeah, I hope the video helps, Svorg. It's not the easiest one. It's a bit choppy, but yes, I do agree with you. There's a real possibility of a green month.